We're going to tie a green butt skunk. Traditional fly, works summer, winter, spring, fall, everywhere for steelhead. We're going to tie it on a tube. Okay, we're going to have some fun here. We're going to use a Pro Tube Fly System Flexi Tube. 40 millimeter, 40 millimeter. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off most of that rear section. That's my hook guide. That's where the eye of my ring eye hook's going to slip into. I'm going to trim the front off there just like a 32nd of an inch. Mount this on my Pro Flexi needle. I'm using a white Lagerton 95 denier thread. And I'm going to put the butt of this green butt skunk up on that hook guide. I'm going to use Hairline Caddis Green Ice Dub. Going to make a dubbing loop here. And actually, I don't need any wax here. Don't need my touch dub. I'm going to slide a pinch in there. And it's my dubbing twister. Oh my goodness, look at that. Okay, I move my thread forward off the heavier section. That's a little bit on the thick side, so I'm going to slim it out. So again, I'm putting this up on the hook guide portion of the Flexi tube. Tie it off, nice and secure. Tail, traditional, red. We're going to use some ostrich, use strung saddles, you could use marabou. Tinsel, put my tinsel in. I'm putting in my traditional chenille. Wind that forward. The trick is, how long are we going to make this fly? I could make this a very, very, very long green butt skunk fly. I'm not going to. I'm going to make it about this long because my eye is telling me this is kind of similar to what it would look like on a TMC 7999 or a TMC 700 because we're going for the traditional look here. Now, why would anybody tie a traditional style fly on a tube? So you can use a short shank hook and you can save your fly. Take out some of the underfur, not too much. Now, how long are we going to make this wing? Now I'm just doing a little bit of plucking here to make this wing a nice shape. I want this to come back about to the end of the tail. Hair past the end of the tail. There we go. I'm going to trim this. You notice I haven't put a hackle on yet. That's going to come. Now, I could have put a hackle on now. Now, you see there's really a little, just a tiny bit of bulk there. Arctic Fox compresses really nicely and securely, and that wing will not come out. Could I use super glue? Yeah. This is just Griff's medium head cement. You have to put crystal flash in your wings these days, right? And I could use chartreuse, but I want this to be a tiny bit on the subtle side, so this is peacock green crystal flash. A couple of fibers on that side. Tie them on without trimming. Just bring the rest over to this side. A couple of turns. There we go. It's a little bit of flash. Now, crosscut rabbit. Here you go. Don't try to use the whole piece because it won't work well. Be willing to sacrifice about that much from both ends. You want the part of the crosscut rabbit that's nice and perpendicular to the hide. I take my Pedagine magic tool clamp and I clamp it on there. And then I reach down and I find my Pedagine long looped trim scissors. And I'm going to trim right along the edge of the hide. Now this is probably a little bit more than I want for that collar hackle. I'm going to pull a little bit out of there. I've just made a loop in my tying thread. Put a little bit of this touch dub, the hairline dubbing wax on there. Holding this open with my fingers, and I want to slide this section in there and just get it in that loop and then pull the loop tight. And this is the part you get the, if you shake, if you wiggle. So I got there. Now I have to release the clamp. Yeah, I'm good so far. So Chris, can you see this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to start spinning this, and I'm going to do it up here just so hopefully you can see it better. And it's starting to twist up, and it's looking fuzzier and fuzzier and fuzzier and fuzzier. And if you're using just one of those dubbing twirlers, this would happen very quickly. I want to do it more slowly so you can see this process happening. So now look at that nice little, you could call it a dubbing brush. I call it a hackle brush because I'm using it for a hackle. Now, you just wind that on. You pull it back a little bit, you make a turn, pull it back a little bit, make a turn, and so on. And now you're up where you have nothing but bare tube. And I'm going to go around my tying thread about 3 times. Hold it up. Get that hair out of the way. And now I'm going to tie a whip finish here. You could use a whip finish tool. We're almost there. So now, put a little dab of cement. Again, super glue is great. And I'm going to put on, for the heck of it, a gold Pro Cone. Just show you how it's going to look. See how nicely that finishes that fly off? Now, pull it off of there. Now, please don't cut your tube too short, because if you do, you won't be able to use your cone. Give it a trim. Here we have the finished fly with the cone head and the end of the tube melted, and we found out that the tube is open. Now I have here a Gamakatsu glow bug hook, size 2, on a short piece of leader. I thread that into the flexi tube. It comes right out the front. Now you have a choice. You could rig this with the hook up, like so, and many people like to do that. I just go ahead and rig it with the hook down, and there you have it.